Okay, David Quick here from Total Cover IT. I'm continuing to go through questions about my book and me and what we do here. So, another question. You talk a lot about shifting from seeing IT as an expense to seeing it as a growth engine. What does that mindset shift actually look like in the real world? Well, that's a pretty loaded question. As I mentioned, typical small businesses in their day-to-day activity, they're not thinking much about technology in terms of something that can help their business. They're just thinking of it as another cost because they're just busy in day-to-day activity trying to build the business and service their clients and whatever service they're providing. It's not something that they think about every day, and you can't really blame them because small businesses have limited resources. They struggle and they need to get clients and they need to service them properly so that the clients keep coming back to them and you need to grow the business. But it's a mindset that they're just locked into because they're just mired in the day-to-day and not realizing that by not looking at technology as an investment, it's actually hurting their business. And typically, mind shift happens when they start to notice things like slowdowns on their network, not able to get the services completed in timely fashion, things that slow down, employees using applications that are not sanctioned by the company, so the applications they have are not properly servicing their needs, so they're going outside of the company's set of applications. Shadow IT, it's called, something that can make things very inefficient. It also can be a concern from a security standpoint because now you don't know where your data is living. And now you have something called shadow AI. And this is becoming even a bigger problem, if not more a problem than shadow IT. And you have all these things creeping in. Slowdowns, employees just moving around applications that are not necessarily within the scope of what a business should be using, and having blips on the network, not being able to access data timely or be able to use it or work with it, not make decisions. They don't have the proper data at hand. Business owners may not have the proper data that they need to make decisions. So the data flow is not optimal. You may have silos, groups of employees working in their own world, just getting their jobs done and not communicating with other groups of employees, other departments. And so you have all these silos and the business owner is not getting the information that they need to make a informed decision about the business. And you have all these things going on, and it takes a toll in efficiency, takes a toll in servicing your customers, clients. It just toll in general in the business. And it may not be apparent if you take a cursory look at it, but over time, you may start to see it and start seeing a degradation in the level of how the business operates. So the realization comes when a business owner figures out that they're losing money because they don't have the proper technology in place. It's not something that's a common realization, but business owners that dig deep down will figure it out. That's actually costing them money. And more often than not, it takes a crisis for this realization to come. A crisis that hopefully is not something that brings down the business entirely. It's sorry, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. If the crisis doesn't kill the business, ultimately the business will be stronger because the business owner will realize that they've been doing things wrong with technology. Now they're willing to do it right. They're willing to make the investment. It could be something that, like an accounting firm. Let's take an accounting firm, for example, because they're on their deadline during tax season. There are also other types of activities as well. There's deadlines throughout the year of various sorts. But let's just say it's tax season, for example. And let's say it's April 10th, 5 days to tax day. So they're looking to finalize returns, get them processed, and get everything in order so that they can meet the deadlines. And it crashes. So let's say it happens at late in the day. Let's say it happens at 4 p.m., maybe late in the day. So what does a partner in an accounting firm now think about April 10th, and they're scrambling to get tax returns out, and now all of a sudden the entire network crashes. Let's say that they have 20 employees. It's still a small accounting firm, but has some decent size. They're growing. Now, generally, they're going to be billing by the hour, or they could be billing per return, depending on what type of billing framework they have, but they're losing money. They're losing money in multiple ways because now they can't get the client work out and bill their clients, and also have employees that are sitting on their hands and they can't do anything because everything's on the computer, and they're still paying those employees. The employees are being paid, they can't do anything. And sure, it's late in the day, but during tax season, it's a 24/7 operation. They could be working many more hours to get the returns out, and now they can't do it because they don't have access to the network. What now? That's not a situation that any business wants to be in, especially a partner in a accounting firm. That's going to require some emergency service. You would hope that they would have a IT resource, whether it's a IT consultant, or at that size, they probably don't have an employee doing IT work, so they're probably going to have to rely on an outside provider, and they may pay a premium to get them in to get things straightened out. and who knows how long that's going to take. That's the type of event that will trigger a mindset shift. Now, again, you hope that the crisis will not be something as catastrophic as that, but generally it will be something of some significance that will cause a business owner to say, wait a minute, I've been doing everything wrong with technology. Why did this happen? This should not have happened. Why? Why did this happen? We need to get this fixed right away, but we need to figure out why it happened, so we can't have this happen again, because we can't be down at all. And I will say that I've seen this firsthand, and it's not pretty. Now, best option is to avoid this situation entirely, but again, people are people, human nature being what it is, technology is generally ignored until it's not, and that's where the mind shift occurs.